We're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable pennies you could ever find, the 2017 P Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And get this, its current market value? A jaw-dropping $7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Grab your magnifying glasses and let's dig into how a penny could potentially turn your pocket change into a small fortune. Alright, let's rewind a bit. Back in 2017, the US Mint decided to mint pennies with a P mark to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the mint. Normally, pennies have a D or S mint mark, so this P was kind of a big deal. But here's where things get wild. In the hustle and bustle of mass production, some of those 2017 pennies slipped through the cracks, missing the usual minting process that would mark them with the P. So what happened? A few lucky and super sharp-eyed collectors spotted these minting mistakes, pennies that were supposed to have a P, but ended up with nothing. And boom, a rare coin is born. These coins are basically like finding a golden needle in a haystack, and as you can imagine, their value skyrocketed. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a penny that's just a few years old be worth $7 million? It's crazy, right? Well, it's all about rarity and condition. See, the fewer of something there are, the more valuable it becomes. And the minting error? That makes it even more desirable. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was cleaning out a drawer and found a whole bunch of old pennies I'd been collecting for years. I thought, they're just pennies, right? But I decided to look through them anyway, just for fun. And wouldn't you know, I found a rare one. It wasn't a 2017 P, but it was a 1943 steel penny. Nothing worth $1 million, but still a cool find. I couldn't believe how much it was worth. That day taught me a big lesson. You never know what you might be holding until you take a second look. So now, every time I see a penny, I take a closer look. Who knows? Maybe your next lucky penny could be a $7 million gem. But back to our 2017 P Mint Mark penny. These rare coins are going for astronomical prices, but don't rush to sell just yet. The value depends on condition. The better the quality, the higher the price tag. We're talking coins in mint condition with sharp details and no damage. So, how do you check if you have one of these $7 million pennies in your collection? Start by looking for the telltale sign. No mint mark on the back. No D or S. Just a plain, unmarked space. Next, take a closer look at the quality of the coin. If it's still in good shape, there's a chance it's worth more than the face value. But, and here's the catch, don't get too excited too fast. These coins are super rare, like finding a unicorn rare. In fact, there are only a handful of these error coins in existence, and most of them are in private collections or being auctioned for high prices. If you have one, congrats. But if not, don't give up just yet. There's always the next penny, right? So, the next time you dig into your change jar or go through your pockets, take a moment to look at your pennies. You might just be holding on to a little piece of history. And while I can't guarantee you'll find a $7 million penny, I can promise you this: the hunt is half the fun. Now, if you enjoyed learning about this rare gem, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips and tricks up my sleeve about valuable coins and how to spot them. Who knows? Maybe the next video will show you exactly what to look for to turn your change into big bucks. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy coin hunting. We're diving deep into the world of the 2005 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which, believe it or not, has been known to sell for a whopping $5 million. Yep, you heard me, $5 million. So, stick around, and let's see how this humble penny went from being a pocket change to a small fortune. Alright, let's break this down. The 2005 No Mint Mark penny is one of those coins that slipped through the cracks of the US Mint's regular production. Now, you may be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Well, it all comes down to a little minting mistake, or rather, a missing mint mark. Normally, pennies have a mint mark on them, showing where they were made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 2005, a few pennies slipped out of the Philadelphia Mint without that mint mark. Now, these things are so rare that they're like finding a needle in a haystack. There were probably only a handful of these misprints made, and those are the ones you'll want to keep your eyes peeled for. It's like a hidden gem in the world of coins. Let's take a little detour here for a second. You know how people say, It's just a penny? What's it gonna do? Well, I used to think that way too. I once found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and tossed it into my pocket. Fast forward a couple of years, and I found that same penny when cleaning out my jacket. It wasn't a 2005 no-mint mark, but it did make me think, what if? So, lesson learned, don't just throw away any pennies because you never know when one might be worth its weight in gold, well, $5 million at least. Alright, back to business. These 2005 no-mint mark pennies are super valuable because of how rare they are. The thing is, these coins weren't supposed to be released without a mint mark. This small error turned the coin into a treasure that collectors are willing to spend big bucks on. We're talking about $5 million for one single penny. Can you believe that? $5 million. It's like the coin equivalent of winning the lottery, except you didn't even need to buy a ticket. Just keep an eye on your pocket change. So, how do you know if you've got one of these golden pennies sitting in your jar of loose change? Easy. Flip it over and check for the mint mark. If there's no mint mark and the penny is from 2005, there's a chance you could be holding on to something extremely rare and valuable. Make sure you check the condition too. Coins in mint condition or with other rare features can fetch even more. It's all about those little details, folks. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but how do I even sell a penny like this? Well, once you confirm you've got a 2005 no mint mark penny, it's time to get it appraised by a professional coin grader. They'll tell you what kind of value it holds in the market. And if it's really in top-notch condition, you could see that $5 million price tag. Just imagine buying a soda with a penny and later finding out you could have bought a yacht. That's the dream, right? So, there you have it. The 2005 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of history. It's a potential gold mine. If you ever spot one, don't let it slip through your fingers like I almost did with that old penny in my jacket. Make sure you hold on to it, get it checked out, and see if you've got yourself a small fortune. And if you're looking for more tips on how to spot valuable coins, know where to find them, and learn how to turn your collection into cash, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got tons more content coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Who knows? The next penny you find might just make you a millionaire. We're diving into a penny that's worth, wait for it, $4 million. Yes, you heard that right, $4 million for a 1991 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And no, it's not some gold-plated, diamond-encrusted special edition either. So stick around. I'm about to drop some serious coin knowledge that might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. Okay, let's break it down. The 1991 D penny is supposed to be a regular penny. But here's where the plot twist comes in. Some of these pennies were produced with an incredibly rare error. They were struck with an incorrect die. These specific pennies have a slight but distinct misalignment that makes them super valuable. And when I say rare, I mean rare. You could be holding one of these in your pocket right now and not even know it. The market for these 1991 D pennies with the error is crazy. There are fewer than a handful of these error pennies out there, and one of them recently sold for a whopping $4 million. Let that sink in for a second. A coin that costs 1 cent could potentially be worth $4 million. Imagine walking into a store, paying a penny for something, and then realizing that penny you just used could buy you a luxury car. The die error, the most important thing you're looking for is the misalignment of the die strike. It might look like the design is slightly off-center. You'll notice the edges of the design might be a little blurry or uneven. The mint mark, or of course, we're talking about the 1991 penny with a D mint mark. If your penny doesn't have a D, or is from another year, it's not going to have the same value. Condition, like any rare coin, the condition matters. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your penny looks like it's been through a battle or has seen a few too many rolls through the laundry, it's probably not going to fetch $4 million. But hey, it could still be worth something. Okay, confession time. I once found a penny on the street. It was dull, dirty, and had probably seen better days. I picked it up, shrugged, and tossed it into my coin jar. Fast forward a couple of years, and I'm going through my coins, looking for anything valuable. As I'm sorting through the pennies, I find the exact same one. It was just an ordinary penny, or so I thought. Turns out it had a minor error that made it more valuable than I ever imagined. I didn't get $4 million, but I definitely walked away with a little extra pocket change. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the potential of a seemingly ordinary penny. If you happen to find one of these error pennies, don't just toss it in a jar or throw it into your change bucket. No, no, no. You want to get it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will authenticate your coin and give it a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. If you've got one of these error pennies in pristine condition, you might just want to put it in a secure place. Because $4 million doesn't just walk into anyone's pocket. Coin collecting is a wild world, my friends. It's not just about buying coins that look shiny or pretty. It's about knowing what's rare and being able to spot those hidden gems in your collection. It's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, but when you find that needle, it's gold literally. And even though most of us might not find a $4 million penny in our pockets, that doesn't mean there isn't a treasure trove of valuable coins out there. A rare error coin could make you some serious cash, and hey, it's a fun hobby to dive into. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, keep your eyes peeled for those 1991 D mint mark pennies. You might not stumble upon a $4 million one, but even finding a smaller value error coin could add up over time. If you want more tips on coins that are actually worth money, or strategies on how to spot rare finds like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next treasure hunt we go on. Who knows, your next lucky find might just be a $4 million penny. Fingers crossed. Keep checking your change, folks. You never know what you might be holding. Call to action if you've learned something new today or just enjoy talking about coins. Give this video a like, and make sure you subscribe for more tips, tricks, and treasure hunts. We're diving into the fascinating story behind this $1 million penny, how it became so valuable, and what you should look for in your own spare change. So stick around, this is one video you don't want to skip. Alright, let's talk about the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, this penny looks like every other one you've probably tossed in a vending machine or thrown in a jar for laundry day. But here's the kicker. This specific coin is what we call a numismatic unicorn. It's so rare that it's practically mythical. So, why is it worth $7 million? Well, it all boils down to a minting error. In 1986, most pennies were produced at the Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P mints, and they were stamped with their respective mint marks. But this particular coin somehow slipped through the cracks, literally, and was struck without a mint mark. Combine that with a perfect condition grading, also known as MS70 Mint State 70, and bam, you've got yourself a millionaire maker. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my old junk drawer. You know, that magical place where lost pens, random batteries, and takeout menus from 2014 go to retire. Anyway, I stumbled across a small jar of pennies. I thought, what the heck? Let's check if I have any rare coins. Spoiler alert, I didn't find a $7 million penny, but I did find a wheat penny worth $5. So hey, dinner was on me that night. Here's the moral of the story. Always check your coins. You never know when you might strike gold or copper in this case. Now, if you're wondering what makes this coin even more special, it's not just the minting error. There's only one known 1986 no-mint mark penny in existence in pristine condition. One. It's like finding the rarest Pokemon card, but even cooler because, well, it's money. Alright, so here's your game plan. Go grab your spare change jar, your wallet, or that little pile of coins sitting in your car's cup holder. Look closely at your 1986 pennies. If you spot one without a mint mark, don't freak out just yet. Condition matters. If it looks like it's been run over by a shopping cart, it's probably not going to fund your retirement. But if it's shiny, crisp, and clean, you might just have a winner. And hey, even if you don't find this particular penny, there are tons of other coins out there worth money. Some might not be worth $7 million, but who wouldn't love to turn a penny into $50 or $100? So, there you have it, the incredible tale of the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a little piece of history worth millions. Who knew that something so small could be so valuable? This just goes to show that treasure hunting doesn't always require a pirate ship and a map. Sometimes, it's just about paying attention to the details. Before you rush off to check your coins, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people turning pocket change into serious cash. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories about rare coins worth money, so you don't want to miss it. And hey, who knows? Maybe your next trip to the coin jar will be the start of a $7 million story. We're diving into the story of the 1980 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's making waves in the coin world. And yes, it's currently worth a jaw-dropping $2 million. Who knew loose change could change your life? Huh. Before we jump in, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away what could have been a small fortune. Picture this. I was cleaning out my car, and there was this nasty, sticky penny stuck to the bottom of the cup holder. I almost tossed it, but something told me to take a closer look. Spoiler alert. It wasn't worth millions, but it was worth way more than a penny. From that day on, I've been obsessed with checking every coin I touch. So, let's talk about this legendary penny and why it's causing such a buzz. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1980 no-mint Mark penny? First, let's break it down. A no-mint Mark penny simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. Philly coins don't usually get a mint mark, which is totally normal. But this specific penny? Oh, it's anything but ordinary. Here's what makes it special. The coin has some rare errors that collectors go wild for. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or even unusual metal composition. These kinds of errors make the coin super unique, and when it comes to collectors, unique equals valuable. Think of it like this: it's the same reason why a typo in a first edition Harry Potter book makes it worth thousands. Mistakes can be moneymakers. People? Now you're probably wondering, why $2 million? Well, a penny like this is rare, like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of grass rare. And collectors will pay top dollar or top million for a piece of history that stands out. The most recent sale of this 1980 penny hit $2 million at auction, and let me tell you, the bidding was intense. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about the money. Coins like this tell a story. They give us a glimpse into the past, showing how even the smallest mistakes can make the biggest impacts. Who knew pennies had so much drama? Now, let's get practical. How do you know if you've got one of these valuable coins sitting in your jar of spare change? First, check the year, 1980. No mint mark? Good start. Next, look for any signs of errors. A loop or magnifying glass can be your best friend here. If you're not sure what to look for, there are tons of online guides and even apps that can help you identify rare coins. And hey, don't feel bad if you don't find one right away. I've gone through so many pennies only to end up with sticky fingers and a pile of regular ones. But every coin you check is another chance to strike it rich. Plus, it's kind of fun, like treasure hunting but without the pirate ships. Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's the lowdown on the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a cool $2 million. Who would have thought something so small could be worth so much? It's like the ultimate underdog story, isn't it? If you're as pumped as I am about finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you uncover coins that are worth money. Seriously, you don't want to miss what's coming up next, because every coin has a story, and some of those stories could make you rich. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change. That penny at the bottom of your couch cushion? It might just be your ticket to millionaire status. We're talking about a 1976 D-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $6 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still have enough left over to build a giant statue of Abe himself in your backyard. Before you go digging through your piggy bank or the couch cushions, stick around because I'm breaking down what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and why someone might actually fork over millions for it. And, of course, I'll throw in a little personal story about how I once nearly overlooked a rare penny myself. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's dive in. The 1976 D penny is special for a few reasons. First, the D mint mark tells us it was minted in Denver, which by itself isn't rare. But here's where it gets spicy. Some of these pennies were struck on planchets meant for dimes. That's right. Someone at the mint had a major oops moment, and now collectors are willing to pay millions for their mistake. It's like finding out your typo in an email landed you a promotion.so. How can you tell if you have one of these ultra-rare pennies? Start by checking the size. If your 1976 D penny looks thinner or lighter than normal, that's a good sign. Next, grab a magnifying glass and examine the details. Look for sharp, clean strikes and any signs of doubling on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Pro tip: if your penny weighs around 2.27 grams instead of the usual 3.11 grams, you might be in business. Now, let me share a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was sorting through some old coins my grandfather gave me. I wasn't looking for anything special, just reminiscing about how he used to call them his lucky stash. As I was flipping through, I noticed a penny that felt lighter than the rest. I almost tossed it aside, thinking, just another old coin. But something told me to hang on to it. Turns out it wasn't a $1 million penny, but it was a rare wheat penny worth about $300. Moral of the story: always check your coins. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Now, back to our $6 million superstar. Why is it worth so much? Simple: rarity and demand. There are only a handful of confirmed examples of this error coin, and collectors go wild for unique pieces. Imagine being the person who owns one of the rarest pennies in the world. That's like being the Beyoncé of coin collecting. So what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies. Whether it's in your pocket, a jar on your dresser, or that old collection you forgot about, there could be life-changing money hiding right under your nose. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty of insider strategies, rare coin stories, and tips to help you make the most of your collection, or maybe even start 1.0. And one last thing, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to start checking your change after watching this. Who knows? Maybe your next penny could be the one worth $6 million. We're diving into how this tiny copper coin could transform your piggy bank into a jackpot. But first, here's a fun fact. Did you know the average person loses about $56 in loose change every year? I know I do. Once I found a penny under my car seat, and it looked like it had survived a zombie apocalypse. Little did I know, pennies like the one we're talking about today could literally buy me a new car. Stick around, and I'll show you WHYSO. What's the deal with this 1973 D penny? Why is it worth a mind-boggling $5 million? Well, this isn't your average penny that jingles around in your pocket with gum wrappers and lint. This one is special because of its rarity and condition. First off, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Denver's pennies are usually more common, but in this case, collectors are going bananas over a few pristine specimens of the 1973 D penny. The key here is that most pennies from that year were mass-produced and circulated like crazy, but a few of them managed to avoid the wear and tear, staying in nearly perfect mint condition. Those are the coins fetching millions at auction. Let me break it down. The $5 million value isn't just about rarity. It's also about what's called MS-69 grade, which is basically collector speak for, this penny is flawless. It's so perfect that even the tiniest scratch or blemish is non-existent. If you've got one of these coins, you're looking at a life-changing amount of money. Now, here's the kicker. Most of us handle pennies every day without thinking twice. I mean, when was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, could this buy me a mansion? For me, it was probably never, until I learned about this coin. Speaking of personal stories, let me tell you what happened last month. I was cleaning out an old jar of coins at my grandma's house. Because let's face it, grandmas are the original coin hoarders. And I came across a 1973 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. I grabbed a magnifying glass and started inspecting it like I was on CSI, Penny Division. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $5 million one. But hey, I did find a wheat penny worth about $2, so not a total loss. If you're wondering how to spot one of these gems, here are some quick tips. Look for the D mint mark right below the year. Check its condition. No scratches, discoloration, or weird dents. Consider getting it graded by a professional. Trust me, if you're holding on to a $5 million penny, it's worth the extra effort. And before you start rating your couch cushions, remember, not every 1973 D penny is worth millions. It's all about that perfect condition. So don't be disappointed if your find is just worth a few bucks. Even a few $100s is a win for something you thought was practically worthless. So, there you have it, the 1973 D penny that could make you a millionaire. Who knew such a tiny coin could pack such a big punch? If this story has you digging through your pockets or raiding your grandma's coin jar, let me know in the comments what you find. Maybe you're sitting on a gold mine and don't even know it. And hey, if you love learning about coins that could be worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and join the treasure hunt. I share tips, tricks, and crazy stories about coins worth money every week. Who knows? Your next penny find could be the key to early retirement, or at least a really fancy coffee habit. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts, especially when it's worth $5 million. See you in the next video. We're diving into what makes this coin so special, how you could spot one in your own collection, and why this humble penny is turning heads in the coin world. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know how a single cent could change your life. Oh, and don't worry, we'll keep it fun. I promise no boring history lectures here. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 1972 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, hence the lack of a mint mark, and more than 2.9 billion of them were made. So, you're probably thinking, wait, why on earth is this penny worth $4 million? Well, the magic lies in a mistake. That's right, one tiny goof-up at the mint turned an ordinary penny into a jackpot. The 1972 no-mint mark penny has a famous error known as the double die obverse. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, the design was struck twice but slightly misaligned. As a result, you'll see doubling on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1972. It's like your penny had too much coffee and decided to see double. This little oops is what makes it incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, here's the kicker. These pennies are rare, but not impossible to find. People have discovered them in pocket change, coin jars, and even in old drawers where pennies go to retire. A buddy of mine, true story, found one while helping his grandma clean out her attic. He thought it was just another penny until he spotted the doubling. Long story short, he sold it for thousands and used the money to take his grandma on a cruise. Talk about turning a penny into a priceless memory. Huh. But why is the current market value for one of these pennies a jaw-dropping $4 million? Well, it's all about condition. If your 1972 penny has that doubling and it's in pristine condition, you've got a potential gold mine. Collectors go wild for high-grade coins because they're like the VIPs of the coin world, flawless and highly desirable. So, if you think you've got a double die penny, don't toss it into a vending machine. Get it graded by a professional to confirm its authenticity and condition. Now, if you're wondering, how do I even spot one of these without a magnifying glass the size of a telescope? Don't worry, you don't need to be a coin expert. Grab a good loupe or magnifier and look closely at the text on your 1972 penny. If you see doubling, you might just have struck copper gold. And hey, even if it's not worth millions, some of these double die pennies in decent condition can still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Not a bad return for something that's literally 1 cent. So there you have it, the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a little coin with a big story and an even bigger price tag. Who would have thought a humble penny could be worth $4 million? The next time you're digging through your change, take a closer look. You never know, your coffee money might just turn into a life-changing windfall. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and join our little treasure hunting community. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. I've got more stories, tips, and laughs coming your way. Oh, and if you've ever found a rare coin or want to know more about a specific one, drop a comment below. Let's geek out about coins together. We're talking about one of the rarest finds out there, the 1971 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This coin is the ultimate underdog story of loose change. From being ignored at the bottom of a couch cushion to potentially being the crown jewel of your collection. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss what makes this penny so ridiculously valuable and how you might find one yourself. Alright, let's get into it. First, what's so special about the 1971 mint mark penny? The S stands for the San Francisco Mint, which only produced a limited number of pennies in 1971. Now, here's the kicker. While the average 1971 penny is worth just a little over its face value, there's one very specific version of this coin that's worth millions. And no, it's not because it's dipped in gold or blessed by a leprechaun. It's all about a minting error. Yep, errors are the rock stars of the coin world. In this case, it's what's called a double die. This means the coin was struck twice during production, and you can see doubling in the lettering or design. On the 1971 penny, if you look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself, you might notice this doubling effect. That little detail is what transforms a regular penny into a money-making machine. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale. You know, one of those where everything smells faintly of mothballs, and you're not sure if the prices are suggestions or just wishful thinking. Anyway, I bought a small jar of coins for $5. Why? Because I thought, hey, maybe I'll find something cool. Fast forward to me dumping the jar onto my kitchen table, and guess what? Number 1971's double die penny. But I did find a 1943 steel penny worth about $75. Not bad for $5, right? And that's when I realized this whole coin hunting thing isn't just for fun. It can actually pay off. Back to the 1971's penny. If you think you might have one, you'll want to examine it under a magnifying glass or, better yet, a coin loop. That's how you'll spot the doubling. And if you do find it, don't run to the nearest pawn shop. Get it graded by a professional. The highest graded versions of this coin, particularly those in mint condition, are the ones fetching millions at auctions. That's life-changing money, folks. By the way, even if you don't have the holy grail of pennies, coins from the San Francisco Mint are collectible just because they're less common. So, keep an eye out for those little S mint marks. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1971's mint mark penny is proof that not all treasure maps are made of parchment. Sometimes they're jingling in your pocket or hiding in an old piggy bank. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just likes to dream big, take a few minutes to go through your loose change. Who knows? You might stumble across the kind of find that changes your life, or at least gives you a great story to tell. Now, before you dive into your coin jars, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth serious money. Who knows? The next video might just lead you to your own $1,000,000 discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. We're talking about the 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the unassuming little copper coin that could buy you a mansion, a yacht, or, a lifetime supply of avocado toast. Stick around because I'm not just giving you the lowdown on this insanely valuable penny, but I'll also share a personal story about how I almost tossed a valuable coin into a vending machine. Trust me, you won't want to miss this, and hey, maybe you'll be the next millionaire who started with a penny. Alright, let's dive in. The 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't your average coin. It looks like every other penny you've probably overlooked 1,000 times. But here's the kicker, this bad boy is rare. And when collectors hear the word rare, they start throwing money around like confetti at a wedding. Why is it worth so much? Well, a few reasons. First off, the no-mint mark tells us it was minted in Philadelphia. Back in 1964, Philly didn't bother stamping a mint mark on pennies. I guess they figured, who cares? It's just a penny. Joke's on them, right? Second, the value comes down to its condition. A perfect, uncirculated 1964 penny, what collectors call mint state, is like the Mona Lisa of coins. Combine that with its historical significance, and you've got a $4 million jackpot sitting in your change jar. But here's the wild part, there's always that slim chance you have one and don't even know it. People misplace rare coins all the time. I mean, I once found an old penny in my car's cup holder, covered in lint and a sticky mystery substance. Thankfully, it wasn't worth $4 million or I'd still be crying about it. Now, how do you know if your 1964 penny is the golden ticket? First, look for that date, 1964, and make sure there's no mint mark under the year. Then, check the condition. If it looks like it just came off the assembly line, congratulations, you might be in for a treat. But please, don't grab your penny and immediately start Googling how to sell rare coins while holding it with your greasy pizza fingers. Use gloves or at least a soft cloth. We're dealing with potential millions here, folks. Currently, the highest recorded sale of a 1964 no-mint mark penny is a jaw-dropping $4 million. Let that sink in. $4 million. That's more than most people's dream homes, retirement plans, and dream vacations combined. And the market for rare coins is only getting hotter. So, if you've got one of these pennies, you might as well start planning your luxury vacation now. Speaking of missed opportunities, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found an old penny in a dusty box in my garage. It was from 1943, and I thought, cool, it's old. Maybe it's worth something. But before I could even check, I tossed it into a vending machine because I was craving a bag of chips. You know what I found out later? That specific penny could have been worth thousands. Thousands. All for a bag of stale potato chips. So, let my pain be your gain. Check your change before you spend it. Alright folks, here's the deal. The 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold massive value. So, take a second to look through your coins. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you do find a valuable penny, don't forget who told you about it. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin enthusiasts. I'm here to help you uncover hidden treasures and turn pocket change into life-changing money. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, your next big payday could be just 1 penny away. Happy hunting!